Hey everyone!
Good morning!
Good morning. Welcome to the Raw Convo with the real Sheri Kondo.
Real Sheri Kondo.
All right, and we are excited to be here today. It is a beautiful, brisk morning out there.
Fall is here.
Yes.
At least this week.
Hopefully you're...
If you're in Texas, you know that'll change any minute.
That's right. It'll be summer again real soon, so yes.
Like December.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you that are enjoying winter in Colorado, congratulations on that.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm in Texas.
There you go.
Nonetheless.
Well, we're going to jump right in here.
We are.
And so make sure you grab your cup of coffee. What do we have today? Well, we both have coffee in our cups. I think. And this was the rule. Whenever you cheer someone, we just heard this. We didn't even know this. Whenever you cheer or you tap, you got to look in the eyes.
Look at them in the eyes.
That's right. So there we go. And we're looking at you in your eyes.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. So make sure that you go to YouTube and you subscribe. Oh yeah, you should take a drink of what you just toasted too.
You also have to drink when you cheer. Okay. There's all the things.
Anyway, go to YouTube, subscribe, and let us know what you think. We're on Facebook and Instagram, The Real Sheri Kondo. So, all right. So today we are taking an example from real life.
Yes.
And we are talking specifically about showing up selfishly.
Selflessly.
Oh yeah, not selfishly. Oh my goodness.
Rewind.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
Okay, but that's how most of us show up. So
Right.
that's one thing.
Exactly. Definitely
Selflessly.
Definitely how to show up.
That was funny.
And so the term showing up, talk to us about that.
So, you've probably heard this a lot, like, how you show up and it really is talking about being present. How are you being present? How are you showing up for other people? And, so it's just a fad thing. It's a word. It's a term that people are using right now. But, so we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Showing up.
Yeah. So how do you show up?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that it kind of goes down to what the intent is. What is the intent of your showing up? Or what is your what is behind why you're showing up?
Sure.
Okay. So
how?
Yep.
Anyway.
So showing up selflessly. So give us the example, real life example of what happened.
No, you tell them. What happened?
I'll start it out. So, all right.
He pushed me.
Yes. So this past weekend, there was on our calendar. So we have a staff meeting every single week, and of course we calendar things out and different events that we're aware of, and put that on the calendar. So for this last weekend, there was an event scheduled for Sheri specifically. And it was a meeting that she goes to on a regular basis, and this past Saturday they were planning on going to another event. So the group of ladies that she meets with on a regular basis was planning to go to another event, and so I mentioned that I was like, oh, you're going to your meeting on Saturday, and okay, well then I'll schedule this. And I'll go do this, over here. But so I mentioned that to her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not going."
I'm not going.
And I said, "Why?"
Because they were going to another event, and I wanted to just attend the regular ladies thing. But when they changed it, then I was like, "Well, I don't need to go to that."
Right.
And so then Jim said, "Okay, but if you go there, you might meet someone. You might be able to network with people. You might, basically
and you might have something to give to someone.
Right.
You might have an opportunity to bring something to the table at that event." And it was an event where they were having a number of meetings. They were having vendors, and there were other entrepreneurs there.
Yes.
And so that I just said you might have the opportunity to bring something to another entrepreneur, which is what we're all about here.
Yeah.
And so
my introvert side, which some of you don't know I have, but I do. My introvert side was like, I don't want to go to do that where I don't know people. I don't know. I had all kinds of excuses. You know that's what it was, right? Excuses. So I went.
Wait. Was it a big but?
Big butt.
Right?
But,
you would do it, but
yes.
Right.
My big butt got in the way.
Right. Which we've talked about before.
Yep. Go back a few.
Yep.
They're on YouTube.
Yep.
Anyway, and so yes, my big butt was in the way.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anybody. But it was different. It wasn't the regular thing. So
Yeah.
I had an out. Whatever.
Yeah. And so I was, I mean, yes, as business people that work together, it was kind of like, you should do this, but then as
Right.
her husband, the balance of, okay, well, I think this would be good, if it doesn't fit for what you're looking to do or whatever. And so then I kind of gave her an out on it. And so it ended up happening. Yep.
I went. And super glad I did.
Yep.
Yeah,
right.
it was so good. The event itself was not great, but the ladies, our group of ladies that went, we all sat at the same table, and then at the lunch break, we went ahead and left. There was like 2 more hours of the event, but we went ahead and left, and we circled up at a local coffee shop, and that is where the magic happened. It was amazing. And yeah, and actually, did I give them anything? I don't know, but I certainly took away a lot, and it was fantastic. And so it made me think about this, how you show up and why we show up. And the idea, not too long ago, I think I've said this before in another podcast, but not too long ago I heard Rachel Hollis, hashtag Rachel Hollis, because that's fantastic. She's great, listen to her. She says that being nervous about doing something is a selfish emotion. And so I've kind of adopted that. When I'm feeling nervous about something, why am I feeling nervous about it? And she's right. Typically it is because I'm conscientious or afraid of what someone else might say or think or whatever.
Right.
How I might be judged, how I might be seen or whatever.
Right.
And so when I went ahead and attended with the idea that, okay, so maybe there's something I can give, it changed the way I went. It changed the way I showed up. It changed the way I felt about being there.
Yeah.
And I have processed this speaking on stage, where that's lots of people have this fear of speaking on stage, and I don't. Like, I'm so excited to get on stage.
Right.
But there's that moment, just a few moments before, where I could probably run and have diarrhea. It just happens every single time.
Did you just say that? Did you just say the D word?
Diarrhea, people.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
It happens.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. It doesn't happen, quite frankly. But it is like, oh my gosh, those butterflies all of a sudden, like, okay, I might get sick right now. And so now as I approach speaking on stage, I don't think about how I feel about it.
Right.
I think about, what am I giving to people? What are they receiving? And how can this benefit someone else? And really excited about being able to share material with people, share content with people that is life-changing, or at least life-supporting.
Yeah.
And so so I took away, as I'm driving home from this event, and just so blessed and just so happy that I went, and feeling like the conversation around the table was just so beautiful. And I just thought, I would have missed this. I would have missed this because I wasn't going. First of all, I wasn't going to show up at all, and then the reason I wasn't going to show up was about me. It was selfishness about me, like I didn't need it, or whatever the selfish thing was.
Right.
And so then to go at it unselfishly, then completely change the outcome of the activity. So,
Right. So, excuse me. So it is, it is about showing up selflessly instead of selfishly.
Right.
Because here's the thing. We all have something to give.
Yes.
And in every area of life, we have an opportunity to show up.
Yes.
To show up, whether it be with everything we have. There's that conversation, but there's also the conversation of what we're talking about here, showing up selflessly.
Yep.
And so, as an example, maybe within family, showing up selflessly for your family, and you just show up for them.
Yeah.
Maybe it has nothing to do with you. Maybe it has nothing to do with how it's going to benefit you. But the fact that you are doing what maybe you're supposed to do, or even if you really don't want to, but because you're being selfless, the difference you'll make in them.
Yeah.
So of course that's family. Let's take it to business.
Well, just that, and even on business as we progress forward, but something that we talk about a lot that came from our church is that I don't have to, I get to.
Oh,
and
good.
then I listened to Ed Milet, hashtag Ed Milet, he's awesome also. Listen to him, max out everyone. Anyway, Ed Milet says things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Which is really a hard thing to wrap your mind around, especially when something really feels like it has happened to you.
Right.
When it's been such a negative experience, and in whatever it could be. But then to flip that and say that it happened for you, and how can you take these things that you probably have the right to say, I don't feel honored here, I don't feel respected, I don't feel loved, I don't feel whatever, I don't feel for me, and turn that and say, okay, well, if that didn't happen to me, but it happened for me, how am I sharing it back out?
Right.
And then, approaching things with, I don't have to do dishes, I get to do dishes.
Oh.
The reason I get to do dishes is because I have this amazing family around me, and we have food on our table. And so you can change some of these things from I have to, or I need to, I've got to change it from I've got to I get to. I don't have to, I get to.
I love that.
And so this just changes the way we're showing up.
Right.
When we're showing up for things, if we switch that from it is a burden to me to it is a gift to them.
Yep.
I think this changes, dare I say, this changes feeling like our kids are always taking from us. I don't want to have, whatever your relationship is in your physical relationship is with your mate, that I have to do a certain thing or whatever. That when we can flip that to I get to,
yes,
it just changes. You are changing your mind.
Right.
You're changing your mind.
Yeah.
And sometimes that seems harder than it is, but it really is the power of the tongue changing your mind.
That's right. That's right. And so just to hit on that, because really that wasn't the direction
we weren't going there.
But do you think that it definitely starts with what you say, your terminology first?
Sure.
And so as you speak,
not even first. If you can catch yourself.
Right. Right. So catching yourself.
Right. So you might be on the path of.
Right.
I have to do this again.
Right.
I have to go to work, or
Right.
I have to,
Yeah.
and then catch yourself like, I'm so glad I get to go to this job. I might get to go to a different job in the future,
Right.
but today I get to go to this job
Right.
because this job is providing
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And you turn it to the I get tos, which leads then to the benefits.
Right.
And then how it's benefiting me.
Right. Or I get to in my business, I get to do this process that might be mundane,
Right.
or
Right.
a part of a system, or a part of what you feel that needs to get done, but you get to do that
Right.
because you have a business.
Right.
And you're giving selflessly, you're showing up selflessly,
Yeah.
and because of that, you're making a difference in that business, in your own life, and in definitely the lives of others.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the saying, from Zig Ziglar. You know, if you help enough other people, get what they want. You help them.
Yes.
Right? You're selfless in helping them, then you'll get everything you want.
Yep.
And
it comes
so
back to you.
It comes back to you. So definitely, that's definitely good. Showing up selflessly. All right. Any last thoughts on that?
No. Tell us what you think. Tell us when it's been difficult to show up. Tell us when it's turned for you.
Yeah.
And if you can incorporate from I have to I get to, it's life-changing.
Yes.
It's life-changing.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that definitely the nervous part as well is critical, is to realize why you're nervous, and then realize that, you know, taking on the thought process that, you know, that it is, that, you know, it's being selfish.
Yep.
And so to turn that around, that again, you get to, therefore, you're showing up selflessly. So.
I got to coach a young lady at our church one day about, we were just having this conversation, and I said, you know, I believe this to be true. I've heard it in this podcast, and I've been implementing it, and, you know, try it out, see what you think. And that was just that being nervous was a selfish emotion, that we take it on, that it's about us, and it's about how people will view us. And if you turn that, and she was going on some sales calls that she was nervous about. And so a few days later, we see each other again, and I said, tell me how it went. And she said, okay, so I was out with my boss, and we were going business to business to do business to business contacts. And in the process, I just put in my mind, this is not about me, it's about them. And when I come at it, not about me, I come at it about them.
Yes.
And then she said, we go to these sales calls, and after our first one, we got in the car, and my boss said, what did you do? what did you do different?
Yeah.
You went last week when we were doing this, you were stumbling around and and this week you were rocking it. And she said, it worked. Me saying, this isn't about me, it is about them. And she said, I went in with it about them, and you can't believe what people will tell you in conversation. And they just started talking, and she was making sales because she just put it about them. And when they started talking, then she could answer, what is sales? It is answering the need, or solving the problem, or relieving the pain. And here they were just blubbering it out now, because it wasn't about her.
Right.
And out came all the things that she could then solve. And she said, I couldn't believe that this was happening. And so
so good.
It's so good. It's so exciting.
So good. All right. Very
good. Guys,
good.
thank you for joining us.
Yep.
Please, again, visit us at YouTube. This will be posted within the hour over at YouTube. There's others from previous weeks. Take a look, subscribe. This raw business really is just about talking about raw things. We literally have like 4 words on our little cheat sheet back there, which you can't see, but it's just a reminder to help us along in the conversation.
Yeah.
But everything else is just organic. It is just raw. And then the conversations we're having on YouTube will be with business people in that same vein, just chatting with them, getting their raw opinion of how did they get where they are, why did they do it, how did they fund it, just all the things. And we believe that you can look upon another man's field and learn a lesson. And that is what we want to bring to you, is examples of other people's field and let you learn.
Yep, absolutely. One last thing. I think you have something to kind of mention.
Our cheat sheet.
Yep, one last thing to mention.
Okay, January 2020 is like 8 weeks away. And so our first event in January is 10 weeks away. And I'm so excited about it. And we're going to call it Super Saturday. It will be a Saturday. Surprise! And I don't know exactly the date. I believe it'll probably be the 12th. But that might not even be a Saturday because I don't have a calendar in front of me. But we are planning a Super Saturday. And this will be different topics of business, different speakers. Lunch will be involved. And we're just now putting wheels to it, but I am so excited to be having our first live event. So,
absolutely.
Mental note to you, men, women, and no children are all invited. I would say children over 16. We'll probably do that.
Yep.
Because I'll tell you, there's something about a young person grasping what is inside them and what they're designed for. And so I'm happy to have young people, but we will be having our first event and I can't wait for it. So we'll talk more about it in the future.
Plan on that. Plan on joining us.
Yes.
Remember, go to YouTube, subscribe. We've got a number of interviews coming up really soon. We've got them lined up to actually meet up with them and interview, and then we'll be editing those down and sending them out to you through YouTube. So make sure you subscribe, get over there, and thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
We appreciate you, and have an amazing rest of the week.
Have
Be
a beautiful
blessed.
day.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.